podcast. On today's episode, them guys recap the championship round weekend games, make their picks for the Super Bowl, and also discuss current news related to their respective teams, the Seattle Seahawks and the Minnesota Vikings.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Damen und Herren, it's time for the podcast featuring Captain Vuk and Billy Gold, aka The Real Deal. This is the only place that's talking Hawks and Kings, but to be specific, we're talking Seattle Seahawks and Minnesota Vikings. So strap up. We're taking you on a fantastic voyage, unlike any you've ever been on, so sit back and get ready to set sail to the emerald-rich lands of the Seattle Seahawks and the treasure-filled valleys of the Minnesota Vikings, with your hosts, Captain Vuk and Billy Gold, aka The Real Deal. Let's get it.
Welcome, football fans, Scolders, and the 12s. We are back.
Never left.
Bringing to you episode 23 of the Captain and the Real Deal podcast. I'm Billy Gold, along with my co-host, Captain Vuk.
What's good, y'all?
And the Maverick, our production engineer, Mike Top Gun Cruz.
3 bandits, Mike, 3 bandits. Come on now, stay frosty. They all got dirty fingernails.
He's on your tail, Mike.
Hit him with the brakes. Hit him with the brakes. Oh, this is what you were born to do. Come on now.
All right, take him out. Take him out.
Bang, bang, bang. 3 bingo night. Well done. Well done.
All right. We have another episode for you. And by the way, it's another great episode in store for you today, as we are going to recap the championship round weekend games and then discuss the latest news surrounding our respective organizations as they prepare for next season. As always, and we have the visual. Here we are.
Look at it. Take a good look.
Get a good look. Viewership's going to go up. I suggest you fill up your solo cup.
I like that color.
That's the line, and then the filler. Sit back
Oh, man.
and get ready for another Lakeside. By the way, I heard on the way to work today.
That's a good
Fantastic voyage. Cap,
Good sign. What's up, brother?
you ready to roll?
You know I'm always ready. Love being on the bridge. Hawk fans, what's cracking? Vikings fans, what's going on?
We're here.
And as B Gold always says, football fans, we've come to the last dance. We're going to talk about it. Sadly, my Hawks are not in it. Neither are the Vikings, but that's okay.
I thought you were talking about our podcast season, The Last Dance.
Oh, no. You told me this ain't our last dance, so this is just the beginning. We're going to start a new chapter, that's all. But
Yes.
we're going to talk about the Super Bowl. We're going to talk about who's going to win. We're going to talk about who's going to lose. We can't make any guarantees, but if you pay attention to the show, you're going to find out some stuff.
Absolutely.
And it's going to be good. So, B Gold, do you want to do it?
Get ready to talk some Kings and Hawks.
You already know it. That's what I'm talking about. Some Seattle Seahawks, Minnesota Vikings, only podcast doing this.
Okay, and you know what? I don't know if you can see in the background the Seattle Kings mini helmet.
It's in the building.
That should, some teams got to take those colors and get that uniform. That is bad, right?
Tight. Yeah, it's nice.
Okay.
Good stuff.
As we always do, let's start today with some questions and open items.
Let's do it.
Cap,
Who's up first?
I got a couple. I don't have the answers for myself, so I'll be making them up as we go. Who would play you in the movie of your life?
That's a good question, man. That's a good question. I mean, obviously this actor that I'm going to pick doesn't look anything like me, but I love his acting skills, and he's revered. And maybe with CGI, they can make him. Probably don't want to make him look like me though, but I got to go with Denzel.
Denzel, all right.
That's the gold standard, one of several.
Great actor.
I would say maybe Sidney Poitier, but he passed recently. May he rest in peace. I love Sidney Poitier, but I got to go with Denzel, man. If he's willing to play that role that he probably, wouldn't want to play.
All right, Denzel. So
how about you?
back in the day, make sure you get a good look at me. Back in the day, they used to say I looked like a young Michael Douglas.
Okay. I can see that. I can see some of that.
A little bit. I was rocking the mullet.
A little wider.
But he ain't playing me.
Who is?
First of all, no one can play me.
Nobody.
Second of all, no one can play me. All right, maybe. And you have to do some people have to do the research on this one. Maybe the male version of Beth Dutton.
I have to check that name. I don't know that name very well.
You got to check that name.
I will. Beth Dutton. That's
Top Gun knows that name.
Item. Beth Dutton. All right.
I'll give you. It's on. What's the show, Mike?
Yellowstone.
It's on Yellowstone.
Oh, okay. That's a good show. I just started checking that out.
Network.
Yeah.
All right.
And the fans out there know who Beth Dutton is.
Okay.
She's a beast.
Okay. Good. That's good. That's what I expect. I'll check that out for sure.
All right. I have another one, but why don't you throw one?
Hit me with it.
Hit you with it?
Hit you with two. One for you, one for the real deal.
If you found out today was your last day on Earth, what would you do?
What would I do? I would probably hug and kiss my family that was close to me that I could get to. Tell them I love them. Tell them not to worry about me. And then I would probably make some phone calls to those I couldn't get close to and tell them the same thing and try to close as many of those gaps that I could.
All right.
I don't have any enemies that I need to apologize to or anything like that. I don't carry that kind of stuff in me. So I would definitely make those phone calls. And then I would probably, my last call might be to Pete Carroll and tell him, listen, your boy's about to check out. So y'all need to bring the noise next year for me and I will be watching.
Can you retire my number, Pete? Can you retire my number?
He already did. They retired the 12s over there. So we're good there.
All right. So if it was my last day on Earth, I did not get a chance to write down an answer for this one.
I didn't like that question, by the way.
You didn't like that question?
Good.
You got to take care of the family. I get it.
Yeah, no
But
doubt.
if it wasn't our regular scheduled podcast day, I'd probably want to do a going away episode.
Oh, okay. That'd be cool.
I'd pour my heart out on how the pain I've suffered
You've done that already now. But that would be intense.
over the course of being a Vikings fan.
I laugh at your answer about John Madden
Yes.
being your coach because then you guys would have
we would have won the Super Bowl. No John Madden.
That's funny, man.
So my last day on Earth,
that's a heavy question.
it's a heavy question, but I'd want to go out, sending some kind of message through the podcast, subliminal, probably.
Okay.
But yeah, just spending time with family, friends, and
in this grim scenario, is there a time that we got to check out? Is it high noon back in the day?
let's go for 6 p.m. 6 usually works.
Can't even eat dinner.
6 p.m. So, before the sun goes down, 6 p.m. So, you got time to grill a steak, Cap.
That's funny. Yeah, your last one. Enjoy it.
Last one. And then, when the sun goes down, you go down.
It's a wrap. Yeah,
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
All right, Cap, what do you got for me?
All right, cool. This is obviously for Billy Gold. And I hope you like this one.
All right.
Would you rather join Metallica or the Backstreet Boys?
Woo! Wow.
And I didn't know which way you'd fall on this one, man, because of your wide musical
Yeah. Wow,
background.
that's a great question. Back in the mullet days, I could have fit Metallica easy. I had some rocking hair.
I believe it.
I think I've showed you pictures.
I've seen it.
All right.
I've seen it. Looking like somebody from one of them bands.
I tell you what. I'll tell you what though. I would like. I think. I don't know. Playing in a concert as the Backstreet Boys for a couple of years, that had to be pretty sweet. But you know what? Metallica had the longer run. I'm going Metallica. I want that run to continue.
That doesn't surprise me.
I want the run to continue.
You would go with Metallica.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, I would probably, because of the I like the beats and the R&B style
Yeah.
that the Backstreet Boys play. Plus,
Yeah,
they were out there on the stage getting their groove on.
What are their
stuff
songs?
Like that.
What's I Want It That Way? That's them?
Yeah, that's one.
That's a great song, right?
Yeah, I'd ride with the Backstreet Boys.
All right.
And a couple years,
Metallica had a longer run though. Metallica, you could be rocking across a decade.
you could, but I don't want to be rocking that long. I don't want to be living that life that long.
A little pain comes along with that rocking, right?
Yeah, and things happen, man. You probably don't want that to happen. So
Yes. All right. Well,
the Backstreet Boys in and out.
I'm going for the pain. I'm going for the longer run.
I hear you. All right, here's a question for the real deal. What movie do you wish you could watch again for the first time? If there was a movie that hit you so good after you saw it the first time, you're like, that was awesome. I need to see that again.
Wow.
That feeling. Which movie would you want to watch again?
Well, as you guys know, I'm not really much of a movie guy unless it's black and white.
Oh, yeah. The Nutcracker thing that you told us about, the wooden toy.
Yes.
That popped up on my phone the other day.
Did it really?
I was like,
March of the Wooden Soldiers. You can't get away from it now.
Brutal, man. But there's a movie that's, I don't want to say worse because you like the movie. But there's a movie that you got to watch called Quest for Fire.
Quest for Fire.
See how far you can get into the movie.
Okay.
And you could do the same thing, Top Gun. This is brutal.
Brutal.
Yeah, brutal.
I thought March of the Wooden Soldiers was great.
I know.
What are you talking about?
You like
when they were dunking Laurel and Hardy in the water?
I had a tough time with it. I may have to try it again when the holiday season
And the
comes
Oompas?
back.
You didn't meet the
I
Oompas?
saw 'em. When the holiday season comes back, I'm going to give that movie another shot.
All right. Yeah. It's definitely better when the holiday.
I had a tough time
So,
with it.
there's some movies that I watched when I was young that I was blown away with. But then when I watch it years later, I'm going, man, that was awful. Like RoboCop. The first time I saw RoboCop,
that was good.
that was great.
Yeah, it was.
Especially when they blew him apart.
Yeah.
But I mean, now it doesn't look as real when I watch it later in life.
The graphics today are just ridiculous compared to what we were used to when we were coming up.
Yep. So I would say after a couple solo cups,
Okay.
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids is pretty good.
You mentioned that before.
Yeah.
You just saw it?
The other day.
Did you enjoy it?
Yes.
That
That's Rick Moranis, right?
yes. Hang 'em high.
Oh, okay. You're going with the good old fashioned Clint Eastwood Western.
Hang 'em high.
All right.
And even the first Liam Nelson Taken
that was good.
was pretty good too. And you know what? The guy you want to play you, Denzel, when he was in the hospital. What's the one where he took over the hospital because he had to get the heart transplant for somebody?
I can't think of the name of that one. Was it a one name title?
I don't know. It's the Open Item.
Yeah, Open Item.
And the other one, when they froze instantly, Day of Tomorrow or something. What's that one?
Day After Tomorrow.
Day After Tomorrow was pretty good too.
That was good.
So I don't know. I'm not really a favorite guy when it comes to movie. If it gets my attention, I'm watching. But I remember just watching RoboCop and watching that part where they just decided to blow pieces of them off, and I was like, wow, this is man. It was just like wow.
So is that your movie?
No, I like them all. We're taking them all.
But which one would you watch?
Which one would I watch?
Yeah, again for the first time.
John Q is the name of that movie, by the way.
John Q. Yeah, that was a great movie.
Top Gun.
And actually, another good movie that was pretty cool was when Will Smith had his son and he kept trying to sell those things that didn't work. That little machine he had.
Yeah.
In Pursuit of Happiness.
Pursuit of Happiness was pretty good too.
That was a really good movie.
That was a really good movie.
Yeah.
So are we looking for a true story?
Yeah.
So are we looking for a tough guy movie or what are we looking
Any
for?
movie, like I'll give you mine. All
Right.
right.
You give me
And
yours.
this is a silent shout out to actually an audible shout out to Top Gun. But it's the movie Top Gun. When I first saw that movie, I was with my cousin. And man, that was like one of the coolest things I'd ever seen. And I immediately wanted to fly. Now, I didn't want to fly for the Navy because I was like, oh, I don't really land on no aircraft carrier. But I said, I would love to fly a fighter plane. And when I walked into the recruiter's office,
Yep.
he talked to me about my vision and how there was absolutely no way I was going to be able to fly United States aircraft. My vision. So, but that's how that movie was powerful, man. I love it.
All right, so I think
that was my movie. I'd watch it again for the first time because I was just amped up after I saw it the first time.
All right, then I know what I'm picking.
All right, what you got?
And I gave the wrong name of it on one of our earlier episodes. The Longest Yard. Me, Mean Machine. When they played the guards
Yep.
and Burt Reynolds. Burt Reynolds, by the way, there's some movies he was awful in, but there's some movies he was really good in.
Oh man,
God rest. He's gone. He's gone, right? God rest his soul.
I don't know if he's gone or not.
Is he gone?
I don't think so. But if he is, I didn't know about it. But Smokey and the Bandit immediately jumps to mind with one of his best movies, in my opinion.
Yeah,
that was a great movie.
He was a sarcastic funny.
Yeah, and I knew nothing about his hair until way past
His what?
later in life. His hair situation.
Oh, was it a wig?
Well,
He died in 2018.
he
All right, so he did die.
Rest in peace, brother. But yeah, I didn't know he was rocking a toupee hard
Oh, was he?
later in life. Yeah,
Ah.
a lot of people are doing that.
Yeah. Well, I'm not.
You're seeing it every Sunday too, and you don't even realize it.
I am.
But I'm not going to speak on that person's name right now.
Is he one of the guys that I beat up all the
Very
time?
Regular news, excellent.
Joe Buck, is it?
analyst. No,
Troy Aikman?
no. But I'm done. I don't even want to go there no more. I'm done.
All right, just whisper me. I'll say it.
Yeah, I'll tell you later after the
All right.
recording has stopped.
What do you got, Cap?
That was a question.
Oh, that's it.
I got a bunch of questions. for you.
My tank's empty, bud.
Okay, let's get to know the real deal.
Give
then,
me,
or
give me another one.
Let's get to know. Let's get another question for the real deal.
All right, let's go.
All right, who was the most famous person you've ever met?
Most famous person that I ever met. So I've met Kid Rock. He's pretty famous. I met what's the show with Kevin James? Kevin James,
Queens?
yeah, King of Queens.
Oh, you met him?
No.
You met somebody that was next to him.
Who's the
though.
girl that walks the dog with the blonde hair?
I don't watch that show.
All right. Well, the girl there's a blonde hair girl who kind of like is always involved with the family, and she walks Arthur. She walks dogs and she walks Arthur. Arthur's his father-in-law.
Oh, yeah?
So not only does this lady walk dogs, but she walks Arthur. I forget her name. I met her in a pool in Marco Island. I met Kid Rock at Yankee Stadium on an elevator. Got on an elevator with Kid Rock. I met. Actually, I think my favorite one was 2 of the 3 from Run DMC in a Washington D.C. elevator. Famous people. I think that might wrap it for me.
Okay.
I think my favorite. Actually, I don't know how famous people on the broadcast, but I had a pretty good friendship relationship with Stevie B.
Okay. He was a
Stevie B
musician,
used to sing a song called Spring Love.
Yeah.
And he had a couple other hits.
I remember that.
And a lot of the clubs I used to DJ in, we used to, actually I was in charge of hiring acts, and I was always trying to get him. So Stevie B.
He was good.
Yeah. I worked with him at a lot of clubs. Actually, I worked with a lot of the artists back then. Alicia, I met all the singers from back in the day.
Alicia Keys?
No, Alicia,
okay.
2 Turned On.
Okay.
So I met
I'm about to stop the podcast.
I met a bunch of when I was like I was the mixologist on a radio show down in DC with a buddy of mine, and I met a lot of artists through him. That's when I was on that trip where I Run DMC. I met them in the elevator. They were just happened to be in DC. They weren't for that show. So I could probably name a bunch of artists, but I think the 2 guys from Run DMC, 2 out of 3 guys from Run DMC. I don't know where the third dude was. He was probably in
Jam Master J?
Yeah.
That was my dude
I don't
right
know
there.
where he was, but I think I'm going with that.
Okay.
And you?
I mean, I've met some political people that are pretty influential, but I'm not going to speak on them. I have, and I didn't meet.
Yeah, we got to talk about fun people.
Yeah, I didn't meet Arnold Schwarzenegger, but I went to one of his film shoots, and he was really, really cool.
Mhm.
And they eat really, really healthy on his sets. It was a show called Kindergarten Cop, I think it was. But I didn't meet him. And I saw Nick Nolte and Martin Short at a movie scene, but I didn't meet them either. But who I did meet, which I'll use this one, and it's a football reference, but I met Jerry Rice after a Monday night game in Seattle. He played for we were playing the Raiders, and we lost. And that was, to me, that was the last game that he actually balled out
Gotcha.
before he retired soon after. But he was really cool, really nice guy. It was a brief encounter, but I do have a picture to prove it if people think I'm fronting.
Gotcha. So you know what?
He was cool.
I have a couple more now that we're bringing this up. I actually went to an event in Texas, and believe it or not, I met the guy who caught the Hail Mary pass, Drew Pearson.
Oh, yeah.
And I actually took a picture with him and actually had him sign a football. I did give that football away to a buddy of mine who's a Cowboy fan. And I met the tight end from back in the day for the Cowboys. He was a really good tight end. same time as Drew Pearson, or a little after Drew Pearson. Who's good tight ends from Cowboys?
That'd be hard to.
It'll come to me. So I met them. I've met some good. Oh, I got somebody that's equal to Run DMC. I do.
Music and football.
Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah. No, this is more music.
Yep.
The same guy used to go down and do mixes on his radio show in DC. Used to also work at a radio station in Connecticut, and it used to be used to be a stadium down in a little town called not Good Haven, but New Haven.
Oh, yes.
It was called the Veterans Memorial Coliseum.
Okay.
And I got to go backstage and hang out before they went out on stage with Van Halen.
That's cool. Dang, that's really
With
cool.
Van Halen. And David Lee Roth was nowhere to be found.
Really?
Eddie Van Halen was nowhere to be found. But the bass player, Mark Anthony,
Was found.
well, I mean, I hung out with those guys. We ate dinner, but then they disappeared to go do what they do.
Yeah.
And Mark Anthony just kind of hung out. So I hung out, and when I don't mean just hung out and sit in the other side of the room. Hung out because the guy that was representing the radio station was having, doing some cues with him and getting some conversation going. And I was part of it because I was part of his mixologist team back then. So
Those are heavyweights, man.
the Van Halen was pretty cool. But the Run DMC was unplanned. So I think that was more interesting.
Yeah, nice.
All right, what else you got, Cap?
Cool. More questions?
You all done with questions, or
I got a few more. I mean,
let's
go there.
Let's rock one more.
All right, then we got to hit the open.
Rock one more. Yeah.
All right, listen. This can go to either Be Gold or The Real Deal.
Yeah, we'll see who answers.
Who was your childhood famous crush?
Crush. Well, I think everybody had a Farrah Fawcett. My brother did anyway. Poster on their wall. Am I off on that?
No, I mean they probably did. We didn't.
My brother did.
I didn't have that poster.
I forget it. Morgan Fairchild.
Who was that from? From where? I was going to say Morgan Freeman. I'm like,
No, Morgan Fairchild.
Morgan Fairchild.
Yeah,
I don't know who that is.
you don't know who that is? Open item, Cap.
Morgan. I got two more. Oh, you already hooked me up.
Somebody's got it out there. Know who Morgan Fairchild is? Oh, but by the way, let's type in a young Morgan Fairchild. Let's not type in today.
Fairchild.
Otherwise, somebody's going to be coming to get me if they're looking at today's Morgan Fairchild. I'm not saying,
Oh, I got one more question that I got to ask this one.
you got one, Mike? What do you got? There you go.
Oh, from what movie was that?
I don't know.
I'm not going to guess. I think I know, but I'm just going to let that ride.
I could give you a few more, but they probably shouldn't be on the show.
Yeah. let me switch gears a little bit. I want to ask you another question.
By the way, remember the Solo Cup. The line from here up is where you put the filler. There you go, Cap.
Yeah, I think I know that movie. TV. It was a
Where?
TV series.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, better looking version, right?
All right. So I got to ask this question here, then we can move on. All right. Which of your teachers throughout your life was the most memorable and why? Shout out to teachers.
Shout out to teachers.
We had a whole bunch of them, but there's probably had more than one that stood out. Probably the one that held you most accountable.
yes, that's where I'm going.
I can feel it.
That's where I'm going.
I can feel it.
So I went to a Catholic high school, so I get my knuckles beat a lot with the
Okay.
ruler back then.
Okay, I heard about that.
Now, now I could have filed a grievance. I could have got some money. But in high school, I took an electronics class, and my teacher in my junior and senior year of high school was Mr. Janisek. And Mr. Janisek, he was all business, all electronics, all the time. And I was a very smart student. I got really good grades, but I had long hair. And there's nothing Mr. Janisek hated more than long hair. Long, rebellious hair.
Okay.
So he used to give me grief and he'd push me to the limits. But I think that actually helped me. So after I graduated high school and did my college, I was still interested in the electronic industry. So I went back to see him. And he actually got me started in my career, where he gave me two job options. And the one I chose ended up being kind of what I do, kind of has evolved into what I do for a living today.
Cool.
And but Mr. Janisek stood out because he was hard on me.
Yeah.
But he also had no right just because he couldn't grow hair as long as mine.
He was hating on you?
He was hating on me. It's okay, Mr. Janicek. Rest in peace.
Oh, okay. Roger that.
Appreciate what you did.
Cool. First of all, shout out to all the Robert Gray pilots out there. That school was awesome, and every single teacher in there was off the chain. But I'm going to go back further to elementary school. Mrs. Vala House from the McCarver Elementary School. She was phenomenal. She was not the nicest person. She was fair, though. And she was, back in my day, they would swat you if you acted up in school with a big wooden paddle. She never swatted me, but I know several people that she did swat. But she was just cool. And we had this thing called Friday activities. And one of my favorite things to do was bowl. I used to love going bowling.
Really?
On Friday, yeah.
You know what?
What?
I led 2 bowling teams to championships.
Let's get on the floor. We need to go bowl.
And I had 110 average in duck pin bowling.
Really?
Yes.
That's not easy to do.
Not easy. It's hard to break 100 in duck pin.
Yeah.
And I think my average in big pin, I'd be guessing probably like 190.
Oh, you're serious?
Yeah.
Yeah, in elementary
You
now.
need to explain duck pin for everybody.
Oh, duck pin.
Break it down
So
for
duck pin, they're just smaller pins. You get 3 shots instead of 2.
Balls are
Balls are really small. Actually, and I actually have a set of duck pin balls up in my attic, and I also have a large bowling ball up in my attic too. So I'm ready to go, Cap.
Let's go do it. You like the bowl top gun? That's fun, man. Let's go.
All right, I'm good.
I think society's open back enough so where we can actually get inside and bowl.
Yeah, you know what?
So, but I'll tell you this quick story. You probably
Game
know
on.
this name too. So my teacher, Mrs. House, was a good bowler herself. And she knew a guy named Earl Anthony.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I scored a 201 in elementary. And she was like, very encouraging, was like, I'm going to introduce you to Earl one day. Would never happen, but I thought that was a great encouragement from her.
I had 7 straight frames of a strike.
You're out of this world. Dude.
7 straight.
See that?
In
never talk
Big Pin.
bowling. That's
In
where
Big
these
Pin.
questions come in handy.
And you know what? By the way, when I played in a duck pin league for a long, long time, and they had these crazy guys where they throw that hook that will hug the gutter.
I believe
They
it.
will hug the gutter and then come swiping across. But I was more methodical. I played the lines,
Yeah.
you know, and I kind of got a little bit to the right, 1 or 2 arrows over, and I would just kind of manipulate it right in there, and I could hit left side or right side and still knock them down.
Man, we should go bowling. That's fun.
We're gonna do that. We're gonna get that on the
rekindle
agenda.
that. Cool.
Hey, wait! As soon as you run your 40.
You want me to run that 40?
No, we don't. You promised you'd run that 40.
I'll take care of that for you.
All right.
I'll take care of that. And we're going to throw that football too.
Yeah, look. Hey, by the way, there it is.
It's all set.
Look I'm like the Wolverine. My skin has been healing.
Way faster than the average human.
Miraculous.
Yes. I'm good.
Is Dave going to be able to watch this in his car, Mike?
No.
That reminds me, we got to do open items though.
All right, let's get on to some open items from the previous episodes. Open item number 1, the Mighty Heroes. Cap, did you get a chance to watch, recommended by my former boss, Mr. Dave, we'll call him Super Dave, the Drifter episode? And if you did, let's hear your recap.
The Drifter or the Dusters?
Oh, I did the Drifter.
Oh, then break down the Drifters and I'll break down the Dusters. I thought it was the Dusters.
We talked on the phone today and we
Dusters,
agreed
my
on the
bad.
Drifter.
Hit me up. I might have seen this one too. Go ahead and break down the Drifters.
right.
Maybe I did see this one too.
So the Drifter, now I just had a rebuff to what you were going to say because you're supposed to carry this part, but
I didn't pick the episode though. I thought
All right, we're good. We're good.
Dave.
So the Drifter had this mini tool that he could use and point at you and he could lift you off the ground. But he also had a large tool that he could lift the whole city of Goodhaven into outer space.
I didn't see this one.
So the Drifter lifted Goodhaven into outer space. The Mighty Heroes got the call and they flew into town. But Strongman ruined their entrance to saving Goodhaven by crashing into a clothesline and taking the rest of the superheroes through a raised Goodhaven Earth all the way down to where the real ground was.
A clothesline.
After that, the heroes did not help each other early on, but they rebounded again with the help of Diaper Man's bottle twice. First, when they were locked in a safe that was sent to outer space, Strongman stepped on the bottle after they stuffed the nipple underneath the door and popped the door open.
They're out of their
And
mind.
then later, he used the bottle to defeat the Drifter. So after the Drifter was defeated, they took the Drifter's tool and brought Goodhaven back to where it belongs.
I have to see that one. And you didn't say one thing which doesn't surprise me, and I'm gonna hammer that theme a little bit in this quick breakdown of the Dusters. So there's this evil villain. His name is the Shrinker. And if he was standing on this table right here, he'd be probably this high.
But we did an episode on the Shrinker.
No, but I know, but he's the villain, and this is a different episode called The Dusters.
Gotcha.
So he creates this dust, unless we did speak on this one.
No, we did not. No, but
where-
this probably played back-to-back weeks or something.
Yeah, he seemed like a regular villain in Goodhaven.
Okay.
Like he's always starting up some stuff and kicking up dust like he did in this one. He creates these dusts to commit crimes.
Okay.
And so he's got a happy dust and he's got a sad dust. So he's all fired up because he's ready to go. He's like, let's go to the bank with his crew, these two rocket people. They get to the bank. The guard at the bank goes, hey, we don't allow vehicles in there because he's flying on this really small thing with like wings that look like they're Doritos, just like a small, nasty looking egg thing. He goes, I'm sorry. And he sprays them, and then it's the happy dust. They all crack up laughing. Or the guy cracks up laughing. He goes inside. He comes back outside. They're like, what are you doing? He goes, I just robbed the bank, sir. And he sprays them again and takes off. And that's the theme of this guy.
Gotcha.
So there comes a call to the Mighty Heroes goes out. Now,
Red, white, and blue.
I don't know who's involved in calling the Mighty Heroes, but it's an extremely elaborate event. Like the entire sky flashes back and forth.
Stars and stripes.
Everybody, yeah, the national anthem is almost playing.
Yep.
And then these guys are alerted and they show up. And I'm going to make a long story short, or a short story shorter. They end up fighting with the guy. At one point, you might like this. The Diaper Man and the villain are throwing punches back and forth, probably 30, 40 punches, and they don't hit nothing. and Strongman's back there laughing because he's been hit with the laughing gas. Cuckoo Man does absolutely nothing
Again.
in this show. Nothing. He should have never even gotten a call or responded. It was crazy.
Should have been sick in bed.
And Rope Man was doing a lot of preaching in this one, but he roped the guy and he,
You know what? He can go off the cuff once in a while, right?
and he even said, I got to start giving shorter speeches because he got drilled while he was still talking. But anyway, they ended up getting the guy.
Be like Tommy Ryan.
The guy gets locked up. I don't know who that is. Thank goodness. But anyway, that was pretty much it. You got to check it out. It was a good one. I'm gonna check out yours too.
All right, yeah, we both watched different. Hey, Mike, that brings us too closer to the end.
Yep, it does. Almost
All right.
done.
So, Mike Top Gun says, "Well, I can't watch the Mighty Heroes." So, you know what I learned about Mr. Top Gun?
What'd you learn?
He's a Pokemon fan.
Is it a cartoon?
No, it's a video game.
Oh, okay. How does that interfere with the Mighty Heroes?
You can play Pokemon, but you can't watch the Mighty Heroes.
Pokemon.
He said Pokemon.
Pokemon that's not the guy that goes around boop 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 and eats everything.
That's Pac-Man.
Oh,
right?
Pac-Man.
Yeah.
What does Pokemon actually do in one of these things? Is he like Super Mario? All right, Top Gun wants no part of this, so we're gonna let him.
We should probably talk some Hawks and Kings about now.
We're gonna let him off the hook. All right, no other open items. I got no tip of the cap from the Real Deal.
Nope.
No
Bam
tip of the
Bams,
cap from the
nothing.
cap. I got no Real Deal moment of the week. The Dryer story kind of filled up the plate last week.
It did.
Ridiculous article of the week. That's a new thing that we added. So we're still kind of massaging that one. We'll get that one going in the season 2. Obviously, you're not getting a Bam Bam moment this week because no Seahawks are playing.
No, I'm not giving out any more Bam Bams until the Seahawks are suiting.
Give me a skull horn.
Suiting up.
Thank you.
My 12's in the building.
I do have a fun fact, though.
Drop it.
This was really cool. So, fun fact.
I know you're gonna dig this.
In his 22-year career, Mr. GOAT Tom Brady never lost to 5 teams. Do you know those 5 teams?
He never lost to them?
Never lost to them.
No, who are they?
They are the Falcons, the Cowboys, the Buccaneers, the Patriots, or the Vikings? Scorn.
Hey, I think I got a fun fact when you're done.
I'm done.
I think I actually have a fun fact.
I know you're gonna dig this.
Thank you. That feels good, man. I appreciate it.
I know. He said to me the other day, he says, you know what?
I never
get that sound effect.
Yeah, I think that, and I need to confirm this, but I think I'm right, though, that there are a few teams that Tom Brady's never beat on their soil. He's beaten them, but I don't think he's beaten them on their soil. And one of them is our Seattle Seahawks. And the game that jumps out. That's beautiful. That's so nice. I think one of the games that jumps out is the You Mad Bro game, which was on our soil. And there was some chatter before the game with Mr. Brady and Mr. Sherman. And he had said, see me after the game. And that's all Sherman was doing. He just went to go see him after the game. Was like, you mad, bro? Because we just got that W, man.
Wow. Wow.
Love it. Anyway, I'll have to make sure that's accurate because Seattle Socrates or somebody out there will make sure that it's accurate. But
Okay, so
cool.
I got some breaking news this week. Actually,
got?
I got some breaking news this week.
Break it.
So Rick Spielman is on the talking tour, and he explained how hard it was for him to succeed at his job. Specifically, the responsibilities of drafting players based on specific schemes, only to have coaching changes each season. Keeping the schemes as a moving target year to year.
That doesn't sound good.
Zim was driving Spielman crazy because we never kept offensive coordinators.
Yep.
He kept replacing the special teams coach, and he kept having Rick adjust his draft strategy.
Every year, so there's no consistency. That's horrible.
I'm sure.
How about the veterans were up in arms?
I'm sure there's some truth both ways on this, but I thought that was very interesting. So let's get ready. You know what, Mike, I need a little background music here. Can you, not music, but sound. Can you give me the Jowler horn?
The Jowler horn. Oh.
Multiple reports
Let's get it.
heading into yesterday's interview had the Michigan head coach pegged to receive and accept an offer from the NFL organization. It wasn't yesterday. It was about a week ago. Harbaugh was in the mix for the Minnesota job. Keep it going, Mike. Because of his connection to Queasy, Mr. Easy, Breezy, Adolfo Mensah. He operated under the assumption that the job was his and prepared for the interview as such. The Vikings saw this very differently. And not as a slam dunk. As a source put to me, the real deal, the way they felt Harbaugh viewed the situation coming into Wednesday, they did not. Shortly after his interview with the Vikings, Harbaugh called the director of athletics from Michigan and informed him that he'd be returning for the 2022 season.
At odds.
Prior to getting hired at Michigan in 2015, none of Harbaugh's 3 previous head coaching gigs lasted for more than 4 years.
Why is that? You know why.
Because they get tired of him. He's also 58 years old. So it's hard to determine how much longer he wants even to continue his profession as head coach.
What does that have to do with anything? Pete Carroll is 70 and he's got another 10, 15 years in him. The coach.
I understand, but
Before he retires.
Pete Carroll's been there for how many years?
In Seattle?
Yes.
Ooh, he's been there a lot longer than 4.
Keep it going, Mike.
And
That's what I'm saying. 4.
retire on his own terms.
Right. 4's not enough. So if we're looking at a 4-year gig. It's not enough. So he wasn't the choice. Minnesota, not really in a position to hire a head coach who's just going to be around for a few years
I agree.
before leaving to retire or another opportunity.
Or messing up the organization so much in 2 or 3 years till
That
you have to get him out of there.
it takes 4 years to
You got
recover.
to rebuild. Yeah.
So the Vikings are headed toward a ton of big changes, and they need a head coach that they can count on
Yes,
to be around.
Yeah, there's a possibility. There is a guy named, the last name Scott, I think, on your staff. He's a defensive something, maybe a passing coordinator, but he might join the Seahawks.
Really?
Yeah,
Is he a DB coach?
possibly a DB.
I think I heard that.
Okay. Yeah. So
All right,
Good.
that was my breaking news.
that was some breaking Vikings information.
I have outside the box.
I think you're better off without him. To be
Yeah,
honest with
you know, I'm Chris Carter. I guess Ohio State and Michigan are big rivalries,
Huge rival.
and Chris Carter was like, "Thank goodness."
Yeah, Chris is
He's
Ohio State all day.
all day.
All
So
day.
he kept don't.
Yeah,
So
he
Chris,
knows, and plus he knows he's on the inside.
Chris is
He
the
gets the real scoop from the players. And
he's the original toe tap
oh yeah, he was nice. And he was third down.
Hands.
Third down magic too.
hands, right?
So
All he does is score touchdowns.
that's it.
Chris Carter
And picks up first downs.
and picks up first down. All right, outside the box with the real deal. Kevin William O'Connell, born May 25th, 1985, after the Super Bowl, who is currently the offensive coordinator for the Los Angeles Rams of the National Football League, will become the head coach of the Minnesota Vikings.
Are you happy? Get some of that NFC best coming in there.
What I will say is, he was, thank goodness, there's nobody on the except saying, no, none of those guys are in there. Good job, Wilfs, good jobs. Now, I didn't mention this guy, quite frankly, I didn't know much about him. I know he played quarterback at San Diego State, and he was drafted by the Patriots in the third round, but he only had a sniff. That was in 2008. He only had a sniff in football, in the NFL. So he retired in 2012. He started coaching in 2015 with the Browns and the 49ers and the Redskins. He's moved all around the organizations. He's kept moving up. They say he's a high-po guy. So I don't know much about him. After they make the conference and I get to hear a little bit more about him, I think I'm glad that they went with an offensive guy.
Cool.
Yes. What do you got, Cap?
Well, we got a DC, brother. We got a defensive coordinator. Very excited about it. There's a lot of names floating around. One of the names that was floating around initially was Clint Hurt, our defensive line coach, who's been in the system since 2017. He's been with Seattle. He's coached at the Chicago Bears and their organization, and he's also coached at some college programs, University of Miami product. 3 things you need to know about him. He was born in November, which is an awesome thing. He's from the Boogie Down Bronx in New York, and he's a Scorpio. So that's all. He checked those boxes, and he was good to go.
Do you know what his saying is for his team?
Which one? He has a lot of sayings, but and I love him in the moment. If you ever check him out during games, his D-line.
When he gets in the huddle, you know what he says to his teams?
Tell me.
Time to get hurt by hurt.
He's a big fella now. He's a big fella.
No, exactly. We're
he's a
bringing
big
the
fella.
hurt. We're bringing the hurt today.
His guys play hard. I think this is a great move for the organization. And then something that they did by bringing him in, because he's never been a DC yet at the NFL level, but they brought in the guy you were speaking about earlier, Ed Donatel, who's been in the NFL for quite a while. And he's very seasoned, very respected. And he's coming in as, what is the title? It's like, let me just see if I got the title here, because I don't usually hear this title here. It is a senior defensive assistant. So I think this is good. This is kind of like a grooming thing, I think, where
Somebody to bang things off with. You know?
Seasoned.
Exactly.
And he can bounce things off of
Exactly.
Donatel, can bounce things off of Clint Hurt. They can bounce it off Pete. And I think this is a succession plan to where at some point, Clint Hurt might end up being the head coach of the Seahawks. I don't know.
Wow.
I think Pete, realistically, he may have a year or two where he's like, I'm good. Pass it on to people that he's groomed and supported, and watch them take us to the next level, because we are going to the next level.
It depends on how they go out. If they have another year like they have this year,
That ain't going to happen.
okay.
That's not going to happen.
All right.
I'm telling you.
I know
won't
you
start out with the first 8 games at the bottom of a lot of the NFL categories on
defense. I think if we
again.
wind back to episode 4 of this year, you said you're going 17-0.
And we should have. But we did not.
You
and
did
so
not.
now that the reality
not.
is set in,
By
we're
the
going to
way,
set our sights on 17-0 again next year.
Top Gun and I are working on some kind of a sound effect when you just start sweet talking to Seahawks.
Let's go,
But
man.
we just throw it out.
It's
there.
confidence.
We can't figure it out yet, but we're
It's
working on it.
confidence. It's
It might
confidence.
we might not get it until season 3, but
That's okay. I'll be waiting for it. I know it's coming. I'll be waiting for it.
all right. What else you got?
Not too much. Just wanted to touch on Clint Hurt. Glad he's in the system. I'm glad we got Ed Donatel. And if we get this guy from Minnesota, another link between the two organizations.
Let's get you closer to getting Zimmer.
No, he ain't coming in. You already know that. They didn't even want him to come in. Pete Carroll don't need nobody coming in messing up chemistry.
He does
That's
not.
huge to him.
Use him.
He'll fire you. You can't be in the building. You can't be in the building.
Yeah, Cap all talking
gotta-
sideways.
you gotta
'cause
step. You gotta
mention Zimmer. Mention Zimmer.
I don't want that dude in our building.
out.
Dude, come in with all that negativity, man. Get up out of here.
Patrick Peterson likes him.
I'm glad Patrick Peterson likes him. Patrick Peterson is not a Seattle Seahawk.
He's a free agent. You can sign him.
No,
He'll be preaching for Zimmer to come with him.
that ain't gonna have any weight at all. No, next step now that we get this defensive stuff squared away, we got to take care of the offense, our offensive line. It's not glamorous, but if we get 3 or 4 offensive linemen either through draft or through trades or whatever, I'll take it. Because when you see and people forget because it's so glamorous when you're playing football, they see the pretty precision plays. None of that stuff works if you don't control the line of scrimmage. None of it.
It's in the trenches.
That's where the skirmish lines are established.
That's why Russell's been running for his life for the past couple of years.
Exactly. And when
They got to fix that.
And you see when he's got time to do what he needs to do, can't beat him.
Yeah,
Can't beat
but
him.
now there's definitely some tape on his spin move, though he still gets away with it.
That's okay.
Not as much as he used to, but he still gets away with
And
it.
he has a different spin move now.
He's
but-
magic. He's
but
magic.
He's got to be real careful.
Yeah, he's going to look really good on another football team next year.
He's going to be a Seahawk for life.
No,
man.
he's not.
He's going to retire in the blue and green.
There's no chance.
Yeah, he is.
No, his wife. What's her name? She like a famous singer or something. She wants him out of there.
How do you know? Like you've been talking to her.
I told you back in the day in the club we had all these artists in. You don't know if she wasn't in there.
Okay. I don't know.
You know?
I
Exactly.
do not know that, but
I got her dialed in.
I don't know. Russell listens to the show, man.
All right, Sierra, tell him.
Yeah, Russell's going to be a Hawk man to the end of time. So
All right, not a chance.
he's going to retire with another 2 or 3 rings coming.
Matter of fact, I showed Top Gun an article, and I didn't have a heart to send it to you, but I sent it to Top Gun.
Well, you didn't have the heart to send it
I
to me?
did not.
What'd it say?
There's a scenario where there's a 3-team trade, and he ends up as a Viking.
Yeah, there's all kind of scenarios out there.
Yes.
People got to get paid, They got to generate interest. They got to get some readership. Exactly.
They do.
Russell's a Hawk, man.
We got to get like a dodgeball sound. Mike.
Russell and Pete Carroll, they're going to ride this thing out. And then Russell's going to hold it down.
So
when-
you
when
saw the
Pete's on.
dodgeball competition where JJ won, right?
I did.
Yeah, so we need some kind of a sound effect right when you start dodging these questions.
Did you? So I'm not dodging it. Did you see when Russell and JJ hooked up?
I did.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Did
I
you
did.
see Russell in the precision passing?
I did.
Was it painful?
He's going to look good on another team.
Yeah, okay. It ain't going nowhere. But hey, I deal with one day at a time. So let's
I
see.
bet Seattle. Too bad Seattle Socrates blew us off because he could have told you. He would have got you straight.
Yeah, he'll be back.
I know
He'll
will.
be back.
He had another obligation, but he will get you straight because you know what? We've had some side conversations.
I know.
You know,
That's cool.
And Russell's out.
Yeah, okay. It's so funny.
Russell's out.
Trying to get the old boy rattled.
They're training for Geno Smith in 2 first rounds.
No, Gino, we got to.
Oh, he got cut, right?
We got to. Well, I don't think
He's
they
a
cut
free
him yet,
agent.
but we got to score that position.
Yeah,
for
you
him. That's
got
a
it.
big position to have.
You know what? Mannion's going to be available, and you had him before.
Yeah, I'm
right.
not feeling that.
I got to get myself amped up for this next.
I like to get Colt McCoy though.
Colt McCoy. All right.
Yeah, if we can. I think he might be coming
Yeah,
up.
he's serviceable.
He's like a year-to-year type of guy
Yeah,
right
he's
now.
a year-to-year type of guy. Yeah, Sean Mannion, he
Yeah.
looks great holding the clipboard.
Yeah, not having it.
All right, got anything else before we move on?
The only thing I have are some dates I want to mention before we shut
Dates?
down.
Yeah, go ahead. No, we are shutting down. We got to get to the championship round results and the Super Bowl
I'll
picks.
do this after that then.
You sure?
Yeah.
You're going to do that in your wrap-up?
Yeah.
Or you want to get in there now?
now?
You sure?
Yeah, it's just some couple of dates that are important to us.
Dates as far as what?
Something in March and something in April.
We're talking about draft?
Yeah. You want me to knock it out?
Yeah, knock it out.
All right. So if you don't know, the NFL Scouting Combine, and I think they just sent out the list of invites yesterday.
Yep, I got one. I'm Rachel Rich Eisen.
You gonna be back in?
After my time, I beat Top Gun, beat the fastest man on planet Earth, Top Gun. I'm Rich Eisen. I calling him out.
Call them out.
I'm calling out. And you know what, Rich? If I have to run backwards halfway, I'll still beat you.
All money goes to charity.
No.
Oh, that's right. It goes to your medical bills.
We gotta have negotiations there.
Yeah, it's going to go to the medical hospital bills. So March 1st.
I heard for 2 weeks.
That's why I try to tell you, man. But I'm going to still come through
2
for
weeks.
you.
I heard for 2 weeks.
But March 1st through March 2nd is the NFL Combine in Lucas Oil Stadium. You know where the Colts play.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, you had said you were gonna you had something you could tell us off the air that you had something that some kind of road trip for me, you and Top Gun that you were talking about. We
could do that, but there's another one that's
right.
These next dates might be what you're talking about.
All right, you had said something. You say I'll reveal it to you guys.
Thursday, April 28th through the 30th is the NFL draft
In Las Vegas again, I believe, right?
Vegas, and that's the trip where I was thinking maybe we could.
Actually, we could actually make that so our other significant halves work out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that might be fun.
That would be fun. That
would
only might is in Mighty Heroes, brother. That will be fun.
All right.
If we can make it happen. So those are the dates I wanted to get out there.
What are those dates?
You got March 1st.
No, I don't care about that one.
You don't care about the Combine?
I want when we're going to have some fun.
Oh man, the Combine is off the chain.
Yeah,
but okay.
man, we're not gonna be fun. Well, after I beat Rich Eisen's butt.
April. Man, Rich might dust you this
He
year.
dusted me. Are you kidding me? Come on.
April 28th. You know what? He's a Michigan
Rich,
guy.
I'll wear my suit backwards and beat you.
Oh man, come on now. Don't put yourself out there like that because
It'd be like in a straitjacket, bud.
April 28th is a Thursday
28th to Thursday.
through the 30th.
Thursday to 30th.
NFL draft.
Oh, yes. And we have you guys even have any picks this year?
Yes, we have some picks. None in the first round, no, yet. But my man
you know,
John Schneider.
I'll give you a Viking jersey for the first day.
Hey, I can't rock no Vikings jersey.
For the first day. It's for the first day. Seattle's not going to be represented.
I hear you.
I'll get you a Seattle Kings jersey for the first day.
I'll rock that.
All right. That'll be sweet.
Yeah, but it should be fun. And John Schneider is still our GM. I love the guy. And we may not have any first round picks today, but tomorrow's a different story.
I know you're going to get 2 for Russell Wilson. So yes, you're going to have them. Way to set me up, Cap.
Hey.
That was a softball, baby.
We're going to find out.
That was a softball. I got you 2 first round drafts this year.
We will find out. But those were the dates I wanted to get out there. I got them out there. So
you might get to wear that Seahawks jersey after all for the draft.
It's all good.
You need a new QB.
No, we good. We got
trade for Jimmy Garoppolo, throw an interception late in the game.
QB though, you're right.
Oh, by the way,
we do need a number 2. So if Kurt gets booted, maybe he'll come be a number 2 for us.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Or you can be number 1. That's actually he's part of the trade.
You got to beat Russell out, man.
Russell's gone. 2 first picks in so remember we had
get off.
remember we talked about one of my former bosses, George, who's a 49er fan?
Yeah.
And remember I said, George, I hope you're listening. I said that Garoppolo would eventually make that huge mistake. To cost him.
He sure did.
He sure did. And you know what? George didn't disagree, by the way. So it's
that's too bad.
You know, it's too bad because the rest of their team is solid. They need a quarterback. Take Cousins.
Speaking of 49ers fans, I got to give a shout out to my homeboy, a.k.a. Faithful to the Bay. He's so faithful that he got this as a gift because he lives in the Emerald Nation area. He said he can't wear it. But he said he knows who would wear it.
So we sent it to the 479.
Sent it to the Captain Vuk in the Real Deal podcast.
Yeah, with the 479 podcast studio.
That's it, baby boy.
Okay. Let's get to the championship round results and the Super Bowl picks. So we usually put some music in the background for the picks. I don't know. You know what, Mike? Let's just start it. And once I introduce our special guest, I'll just do this. So let's get that music going for the picks. Actually, get the picks vocals and then the picks music.
Yo, it's time for the picks, the weekly predictions by them guys. Get your notebooks out because they rarely miss. Make way for Captain Booth when he makes his picks. You can't touch this dude. Reppin' Hawks in the Emerald Nation. All units, battle stations. So welcome to the battle zone. It's a place where Captain Book is never alone. With his guy, be gold by his side. Sporting purple, always ready to ride. A real Viking maniac. Never afraid to go on the attack. And when needed, in comes the real deal. He's got a real feel for NFL skill. So listen close and get the word. Don't be the one who hadn't heard about Captain Book and Blue Gold. Dropping knowledge, truth be told. With the picks. Battle tested.
There you go.
Let's get it. Let's get it.
We have some really good background music. We really do.
I love it.
And we're not changing some of this up. We get letters, calls, tracked down on the street saying, some of these things just can't go. This rocking this beat in the background, this is the greatest beat for the picks.
It's too nice.
Right? It's really good. And the opening coming into this, can't touch this.
Can't touch
Right?
It's on point.
Season prediction record. And by the way, Mike, so when we stop this music, I'm going to cue you up to start again. So get it on hold. Season prediction record. The season records have been updated. Captain went 1-1 for the championship round weekend, and now stands at 149-82. And the real deal went 0-2.
The double goose egg.
And now stands at 142-89 for the season. Cap has a 7-game lead. There's only 1 game left. You had clinched last week, but
We compete to the end.
we compete to the end,
That's it.
and we're going to keep bringing it. So why don't we fade this out? So, Cap,
Yes, sir.
normally during this section, we have our wrestling
Visit.
fellows
Yeah,
visit us.
yeah.
Usually it's Ric Flair.
Yep.
And Macho Man George, and we just have George the Animal Steel stop in
Yep.
1 week, and we're still vacuuming up after him.
Exactly.
But Ric Flair had another obligation this week, and I think all the wrestlers on a tour. So
what?
yeah, so they could not join us for this week. So
Do we have anybody coming in?
yeah, let's see if you can guess who is replacing Ric Flair this week. So let's get ready for the Super Bowl predictions. Ladies and gentlemen, in association with the Captain and the Real Deal Production, I proudly present the main events
Is this
of the season. 4 quarters of football for the Super Bowl champion of the world. Football fans,
Bring it.
are you ready? I see a lot of turnovers for the main event. So let's get ready to fumble. In the orange corner,
Let's go.
wearing the black, orange, and white uniforms, out of the state of Ohio, with a professional record of 13 wins and 7 losses, and 6 of those wins coming by blowout. Your Cincinnati Bengals.
That's good. That's good.
And
Who's in the other corner?
in the blue corner, wearing the navy and blue uniforms, formerly from St. Louis, Missouri, and now representing the great state of California with a professional record of 15 wins and 5 defeats. Your Los Angeles Rams. These rosters are loaded. My prediction.
Oh, man.
Cincinnati
That's funny.
against the Rams. I got the Rams, the LA Rams, taking this.
Okay.
I'm writing it as we speak. LA Rams 27, Cincinnati Bengals 24. Cap, did you know who the special guest was?
That was Mr. Michael Buffer, right? Man, thanks for stopping in on the show. You've been doing a lot of stuff with the NFL lately, and I'm glad you stopped by the show, bro. We appreciate you. That was good. Let me drop mine real quick. This is going to be real quick.
All right.
So, AFC Championship game 2 weeks ago. In the shootout in the KC Corral, young Joe Burrow, gunslinger, took his team, the Cincinnati Bengals, and beat the Chiefs 27-24. Earned their spot into the big dance. NFC Championship game, NFC West Division rivals, third meeting. The Rams bucked the 49ers 20-17.
Did they buck him or did Garoppolo make?
Oh, Garoppolo did not help.
He did not.
Yeah, that was painful to watch. I felt kind of sad for him, but
I
then
did
that didn't last very long, no. And they did it in SoFi Stadium. So now they're going to play in the Super Bowl at home in SoFi Stadium. A lot of star power, as Mr. Buffer said. I'm taking the Rams 35-24.
35 to all right. So we're going. So you know what?
And I wouldn't be surprised if Cincinnati found a way to win, but I just think that the Rams are gonna, this is what they live for. Them bright lights. Not that they're gonna phase Burrow and them fellas and Mixon and them guys, but
it's gonna send a clear. Here's the problem.
The NFC West is no joke. And they're about to find this.
Well,
out.
the Rams are no joke.
They aren't. And they're NFC West, which is also known as the NFC Best. Got to get that up in there.
Out West.
We out there looking on the outside in. No, it's painful, but
if it'll send the wrong message if the Rams win, because then they're going to start doing like they do in the NBA and think you have to have super teams.
Nah, I mean, because they picked up all these acquisitions.
Yeah.
Yeah, those don't necessarily work all the time in the NFL.
They do not, and that's one reason why I think that there's a chance that the Bengals could win, and
Well,
that would just set the record straight. That you know what,
Yeah.
the message is get a young quarterback where you don't have a high salary on him and build all around him with all the money on elsewhere.
The only way I think the Rams lose this game is if they implode on the sidelines, if they get frustrated too early and unravel on their own.
Yep.
I don't think that's going to happen, and if they can't get their defensive front going, if for some reason they can scheme up their offensive line and their offensive packages, blocking packages to keep the pressure off of their guy,
Yes,
it could be a long day for the Rams. But
I think so.
But
But you know what, their
it's gonna be a good
offensive
game.
line is pretty solid. So we'll see.
It's going to be a good game.
All right, so Mike, we're not going to need to go back to that the other music that we had for the picks. I think we don't have to do the survivor pool because we both picked the Rams. So there's really nothing new for the survivor pool.
Right.
So I guess we're just gonna wrap up this episode. So Scolders, 12s, all you football fanatics, it's been a glorious, fun-filled season 1. I think our next episode will be, unless some really breaking news comes, probably right leading up to the draft. And that's Wilson in the background. We hear Wilson in the background.
Yeah, he's
hungry.
Michael Buffer got him going.
Wilson, I think Michael Buffer woke him up. So it's been an enjoyable ride. This is our first video. We're just testing this out. The audio will always continue. The video we're going to tweak it along the way. It's been so much fun.
No doubt.
We talked about this for at least a year and a half before we finally did it. The studio's evolving. The equipment's coming. The sponsors are over
Coming.
us.
They're coming.
People are chasing us down the street. I mean, this year has been over the top.
It's been fun.
It's been fun. The feedback is fun. Keep passing the word. I'll get Wilson down here on an episode one way or another because he's itching to get down. He's hungry is what he is.
He's built for football.
He's built for football. But, get the word out on the street. The Vikings have found their next GM. Easy breezy queasy, even though I'm saying his name, so I think it's Quasi. So Quasi, the guy, will lead us higher than the sky.
Okay.
This.
There we
So
go. We dropping bars.
dropping it as we're
Ain't nothing
going.
wrong with that.
And they will announce their new head coach, Kevin O'Connell, the OC of the Rams, who comes from the Sean McVay tree. And so far, that tree's worked out pretty well because LaFleur from Green Bay's there. The guy for the San Diego Chargers is also from there. So
Good coaches.
seems like it's a good tree. So I'm glad it's an OC, and I'm looking forward to filling out the rest of the coaching roster. So, Cap, as you always do, bring us home.
Well, this is a special episode, as you know, and it's been a blast being here, being accountable for my Seahawks, for better or for worse, learning about the Vikings and how y'all live, similar to how we live. So, to the Scolders, I know you're fired up about your possibilities, and you should be. And I hope that your new head coach can get you back to your purple people eating ways. I sincerely hope that, so that you can dominate the NFC North. Stay focused and get it right. To me and my 12s, the Hawks, and the entire Emerald Nation, it's about to go down in 2022. No one knows what to expect, but we do. Nobody knows what's next, but we do. No one knows what the Seattle Seahawks are made of, but they will find out. And on that note, I gotta speak in rhythm here.
All
right. Next year, when we step out on the field, the blue and green will never yield. With the new DC and a supporting cast, get your Hawkeyes ready for a start that's fast. Not like the recent past. We'll be teaching class. Gonna run our flag right up that mast. And let the world know that we got this on lock. It's called football, bro. And we just won't stop. So you haters hate on. It don't bother us none. Because this offseason will be hotter than the sun. Putting in that work to get our story told. Because never forget, my friend, fortune favors the bold. You know what I'm talking about, B Gold?
I do.
You know how we do this, right?
We do.
Hey, we look for adversity so we can overcome it. So with that, thanks for a fun season. It's been a fun journey, and thanks for listening to the Captain and the Real Deal podcast. We'll see you back next season. Scolders, skull on, baby. And to the 12s in the entire Mo Nation, go Hawks. Peace.
Peace. Season 1 wrap.
Guns.
Ablazing.
That's it.
There they are. We're rolling the ship.